Welcome, everyone. Hopefully, my camera's doing good. Well, this is a first in quite a while. Um, Obviously, before we get started, please do hit the like button on the stream. Subscribe to, well, it's actually really just my channel. For now, we'll find out by the end of maybe some time. But yeah, before we get started, with this sort of yeah, it's not really there's no specific topic, but there is a one topic we'll probably discuss. But first, let's bring him back after a while on the channel. Obviously I've seen him on a couple of streams, but in terms of like a show-ish, Charlie, how are you? Welcome back.
It's great to be back. I've missed doing this. I really have. I'm not just saying that. I have genuinely missed doing this. Obviously, the two shows that we did about Palermo, Deportivo, about Newcastle, Spurs. Look, it's great. Obviously, for those that saw the community post and for those that follow me on Instagram will know that, or if you didn't see it, I'll tell you now. If you didn't know, essentially life just happened. People get busy, people have new opportunities that come, and essentially that's what happened to me. And the way it is that obviously before we would do a show at the same time, same day every week. Unfortunately for me now, I can't guarantee that I'm sort of going to be around at a specific time on a specific day every single week. So essentially, life happens, and obviously I've luckily got a really good opportunity that I'm kind of working on at the moment. Essentially just new chapters in life, new things come about, opportunities present themselves, and that's essentially what happened to me. A really good opportunity presented itself, and obviously I took it, and obviously I'm enjoying doing that. I'm enjoying what I'm doing, but obviously it's nice to be back. It was nice doing the shows. Fortunately, like I said, can't commit to kind of a specific day, specific time. But like I did for those that saw, like I did say, when I am available, I will sporadically sort of appear on some watch-alongs. As Ten mentioned, you saw me on a couple of watch-alongs on Steve's channel. And obviously we're here doing the show today, and I'm sure this won't be the last one we do. So, yeah, like I said, you'll still see me around sporadically for sure. I'll still be, involved in the sort of community. But just not my own channel, just not my own sort of content, and not, a week, not anything like weekly, specific time, day, all of that sort of stuff. So, yeah, for those that didn't know, that is kind of the situation. Don't worry, nothing bad has happened. So don't worry about that. But it's good to be back. And yeah, big ups to the chat as well, everybody. Seeing all you guys again, it's great. But yeah, Ten, thanks for having me on. Thank you for bringing me on. I think this will be an interesting show.
Yeah, obviously, big up to the chat, Sebastian, Anthony, Tottenham. Yeah, both of our English clubs are in the mud. Inter probably going to win the league. Napoli. Big up to Dan Davenport as usual, and Dantrum and Jordan. Oh well, actually, where is it? J.
Yeah, big up to Jordan.
If you could. If you want to see Derby wins, you can support. Well, actually, obviously, I mostly do Newcastle United shows. Obviously, in a little bit of a replacement of the Year of the Bird. Well, it shouldn't actually be called the Year of the Bird. It should be what do you call it? How to kill a mockingjay, that sort of thing, or kill two birds with one stone. Considering how bad both of our teams have been, but. Yeah, obviously, as Charlie said, this won't be like a weekly thing. Maybe it could be like a monthly thing, or
just whenever it works for both of us, really.
Yeah, and then obviously, lots of things happening with life with Charlie, and even for I as well. But of course, I'll still be on YouTube, so I'm not going to be taking a sabbatical or whatever. I'll still be here as usual. But obviously, it's a perfect time to kind of talk about, because now it's an international break, so something for both of us to look forward to. But we'll probably talk a little bit about that maybe near the end. But today is a little bit more. Obviously, I'll start off with saying that obviously with Newcastle United, I did a bit of a post-match review of of that game yesterday. So if you really want to know my thoughts, just check it out. Whereas this one, it's more about um, Charlie has been out of YouTube for about a month or so, and Spurs have yet to actually win a league game.
At least we got a point. We got a point. We've got 1 point since then. My word.
I told Charlie when he's like this past month, we can do a this sort of show or whatever once Tottenham actually have 30 points. It took them last week to do that, but yeah, I don't know where to get started. Actually, the last time we did this show or any sort of show with Charlie on was when Thomas Frank just got sacked, which was actually coincidentally both of our games against each other back in.
Yeah, you got Newcastle got Thomas Frank sacked from Spurs,
and now it looks like there might be another guy getting sacked. But yeah, obviously, not many people heard your thoughts about Igor Tudor and practically the last 6-7 games it's been for Spurs. But yeah, how about let's start off a little bit about the initial part when Igor Tudor was hired. What do you think of him?
Obviously, I was one that wanted Frank sacked. I still kind of stand by that. I think that for those, I know, look, there's not really any fans saying it, but for those that might think that, if we had stuck with Frank, that this would, not be as humiliating and as embarrassing as it is, I think are wrong, because I think, it would be exactly the same. I think if Frank was still here, I'm not saying it'd be any worse. I'm not saying it'd be any better. I just think it would be exactly the same. No difference whatsoever. In terms of Tudor, look, obviously I, know him quite well as a, not personally, of course, but like as a manager. He obviously was manager of Juventus. I watch a lot of Serie A, so I know how his teams play. I know kind of what he was about. He was at Lazio as well. I said at the time when we hired him that, look, as an interim, we're not really going to get better because he is interim. He's here from now till the end of the season. You're not really like, there were loads of fans expecting their beloved Poch, who, for those that watched our shows previously, knows that I am not a fan of Poch. The Poch now, that is, anyway, since he's left Spurs. But yeah, Tudor was kind of like, look, he had experience in making an immediate impact at Udinese. He did that at Hellas Verona. He did that at Juventus. He did. He comes in, he tends to win at least 3 of his first 5 games usually. So I'm thinking, look, at the end, yeah, big up every single time. I'm thinking, look, is it great? No. Do I think Tudor's a good manager? No, not really. I was not a fan of his Juventus team. I thought, especially towards the end, the amount of, I think they drew like 5 games in a row or something. Look, I'm not a fan of, as a manager in terms of quality. I'm not a fan of Tudor. I watched a lot of his teams in Serie A. He never really lasts long at any club. I'm not a fan of him. However, as an interim, I thought at the time, look, there's not really anything better. And for all the Spurs fans that were saying, oh, bring back Mason. Again, this fan base a lot of this fan base is so out of touch because Mason just got sacked by West Brom, who are about to possibly be relegated from the Championship. So let's not go there with people saying Ryan Mason, even Harry Redknapp. Look, I like Harry Redknapp, but Harry Redknapp, he hasn't managed for about 10, 15 years or whatever it is. Like, he's been out of the game for so long. So I thought, look, Tudor, let's see what happens. There was still obviously a lot of the season left at that point. I think it was wrong to throw him in for the North London derby. I think that was wrong. I don't think that it's right to sort of give a new, whether it's an interim or permanent, I don't think it's right to give them the derby at home as their first game, because it's kind of like, look, if you lose that, you're off to you're already on negative points at the start as a manager. And look, we've been terrible. I think, do I blame Tudor? No, because he still hasn't been here that long. Do I think he's a great manager? No. I've said that already, but where we are right now, and obviously I was talking about this when we were doing the weekly shows. we're going to get relegated, people. Yeah, like we are. This isn't a joke. This isn't a joke anymore. I know I was joking. I was jokey about it before. We are going to get relegated. For those that just watched that Nottingham Forest game on Sunday against, by the way, Forest, who were below us. Not many teams are below us this season, but Forest were one of them coming into the game. The fans, finally started to, try and push the team over the line, line the streets before the game, which, to be honest, a lot of fans have been given up this season. You might have seen that Crystal Palace game recently. Come the second half, not even like at the end of the second half, but at the second half, the stadium was empty. I don't know if you saw it, 10 on the TV. Like it was so empty. I've never seen a Spurs stadium that empty before. It was literally like, oh, it was crazy. I don't know the exact numbers for how many people were in the stadium for that second half, but it was empty. But on Sunday, there was a different sort of approach from the fans. The fans actually decided to get behind the team. The fans knew that, look, this is yes, it's an unthinkable situation, because it is. Spurs have never been relegated from the Premier League. Spurs have only ever been relegated, I think, once or twice in our history. So this is an unthinkable situation, but it's a big deal, because for us to get relegated, it's crazy. And I think the fans sort of like, look, we have to try and look. We've tried everything. Nothing's changing. The fans, I think, just thought, look, we have to try something else to get more results, and that was getting behind the team more and kind of creating a sort of day, sort of occasion atmosphere, and then they go and put in that performance, which I think says to me, after all the build up with the fans and everything, it says to me that there's no saving them. That's what this really says to me. There is no saving them, and this is 100% what it is, Anthony. Like, do I want? I'm going to sit here and say this. I'm going to be clear about this. Do I want Spurs to get relegated? No. But if we do get relegated, am I going to be as bothered as loads of fans? No. And the reason I say no is because it's deserved. I can't sit here and complain and cry about it, because if we get relegated, which I think is going to happen now, it's deserved, because this has been coming for years and years and years and years. The ownership, Enoch, Daniel Levy, the board, all of these people have destroyed our football club. They have destroyed it. They have completely ran it into the ground to a point where we are on the verge of championship football, which I never thought I'd see in my lifetime. Because, like I said, the facts don't lie. We've never been relegated from the Premier League. The last time we got relegated was in '77 or whatever it was, and I think that's one of only 2 times it's ever happened in our history. So, relegation is not. People want to sit there and say, "Yeah, Spurs fans think they're a bigger club than they are." Yeah, but we've never been in this situation. People calling Spurs fans too demanding, expecting too much from kind of the size of club you are. That's what I constantly hear from rival fans. I'm like, we've never been in relegation battles. We've never been at this end of the table. People will talk about last season. Last season, we were well safe by this point. Well safe. It was not. Relegation was only a question for about a week last season. Literally a week or 2 weeks. So it's very different. This ownership deserve relegation. My hope is that if we do end up getting relegated, is that it will force proper change, whether that's them changing their ways to actually get us back in the Premier League and start putting in a footballing plan, or if it means them finally selling the club and getting out once and for all. That's what needs to happen. And I'm not saying I want to get relegated, because I don't, because I think it will be catastrophic. It could be catastrophic in so many ways. There's multiple clubs that you've seen over the years that went down, and everyone's like, oh, they'll be fine. They're a massive club. They'll come up. Leeds stayed in the Championship for 16 years. Nottingham Forest stayed in the Championship for 20 years. Blackburn are still down there. Look at Leicester about to get relegated to League One. You've got Sheffield Wednesday. Look what's happened to them. These so-called Premier League regular big clubs, if you want to call it like that, have found themselves stuck in the Championship. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend that, oh, if we get relegated, we're going to just bounce straight back up like nothing happened. It doesn't always work like that. I know Newcastle did it, as you'll know. And I've been, twice. And I've been saying this to you, like, obviously, like, personally and stuff. Like, what I'm experiencing right now is what you went through under Mike Ashley. It is, I don't see a difference. The only difference I might see is that, from what I know, correct me if I'm wrong, Mike Ashley wanted to sell the club for about, was it 5 years or something? I know for a while he wanted to sell the club. He just couldn't do it. These owners don't look like they want to sell the club, and that's the problem. It's kind of like, obviously, the Sheffield Wednesday thing is really extreme, but their owner only went because they went into administration. Like, he didn't want to sell the club, and I feel like our owners have got the same sort of thought process about the whole thing, that they don't want to sell, and that's a problem. And the only way they're gonna be gone from this club is if they experience financial pain. And that seems to be the only language they understand, financial pain, because, you know, they don't understand anything else. You know, they don't understand that in football you have to spend money to make money. They don't understand that to be a big club you have to pay big wages when it comes to, obviously, inflation with the game and everything. They don't understand any of that. The only thing they understand is financial pain. And going down to the Championship will make them lose, I read, around 260 million, which is nuts. They only solely rely on Spurs as their big business. You know, you get these other owners, they have multiple businesses. Spurs is their cash cow, essentially. If they lose money, they're in trouble. Their cash flow's already been a problem. The thing is, when it comes to these players, they are a disgrace. They are an absolute disgrace, because I don't care what anyone says. They're better. We have more than enough players to not be in this situation. I think we've got better players than West Ham. I think we've got better players than Nottingham Forest. This is all on paper. However, football's not played on paper. And when you've got such a terrible, terrible attitude, a complete lack of fight, it doesn't matter. You know, I said this, I think, on Steve's watch along. For those that follow Serie A, will know Fiorentina, they're starting to get it together a bit now. But for the majority of the season, Fiorentina, they're a big club. You know, they're in Europe regularly, all of this. They have been on the verge of relegation the whole season because of, you know, a complete lack. The players just have zero confidence, zero belief. I think Spurs is exactly the same, and actually worse right now. A lot worse. So my thoughts on the whole situation. Look, I don't think Igor's going to save us, because nobody can save this. Before the Forest game, I was thinking, do you know what? Look, we got a draw at Anfield, which I did not expect. We beat Atletico Madrid in the second leg, even though we went out. Obviously, everyone knows what happened in the first leg with Kinski and everything. I thought, do you know what? Maybe they can be saved. Maybe with a bit of, you know, with Tudor getting a bit more time, a few more games, just maybe something can be turned around, and this team does actually have something left for the rest of the season. Those two games, I wouldn't say hope, but it gave me a bit of thinking. I was like, maybe they can be saved. The Nottingham Forest game tells me they can't be saved, because that was a relegation rival. That was a relegation 6-pointer. They were, like I said, they were actually below us coming into the game. So we can't be saved. And I never thought I'd ever be saying this, but we are gone. We are as good as gone. The teams around us are picking up more results. The teams around us seem to be actually fighting for it. We're not doing any of that. And for that reason, Spurs, I believe right now, will be playing Championship football next season, which is just something I never thought I'd ever see in my lifetime. But here we are.
Damn. Well, obviously, I'm not going to go through each of the matches that Spurs have played, because all of them are literally the same thing. Apart from two of them, you lost.
Well, no, tennis, not just losing. It's concede the first goal and completely crumble and capitulate to the highest levels. That's what it is.
I think, I'm not sure. I might be. Oh, wait, no, Crystal Palace. Like, scoring, you guys scored first, but then you end up not winning the game.
It's players like Van de Ven that are a massive issue right now, and people aren't saying it because Van de Ven's obviously one of our best players. Van de Ven clearly wants to leave the club. Van de Ven is in a lot of these games, he has been one of our worst players. Look, I think all of our players have been bad, but he has been one of the absolute worst players. And he's supposed to be one of our best players. But this guy clearly does not have the sort of grit and the fight for the situation we're in. You've got players kind of walking around, not running. I think I'd say right now, of our current squad, the only players I'm seeing genuine fight for is Richarlison, because he knows what this is with relegation battles at Everton. So
Watford, yeah.
So
maybe you should. Maybe it's actually a good investment of what 60, 70 million of Richie. And I did say, I remember, because people were saying Spurs would lose 7-0 to Liverpool. I said I wouldn't be surprised if Spurs get a result, and they did. But yeah, I guess in terms of, well, it's almost very certain you're not going to get European football. But I guess, what were your thoughts over the 2 games of Atletico Madrid?
I mean, like I said, the second leg, I actually thought we played really well. I was actually impressed with the performance, which is what makes the Forest game even more disgraceful. Atletico Madrid are obviously a good side. We played really well in that second leg. First leg was obviously horrendous. We kept slipping everywhere. The Kinski had that nightmare. He got taken off, all of this. First leg was an absolute nightmare. I was surprised we only lost by 3 goals, if I'm being really honest. Obviously, not so long before that, Barcelona lost 4-0 there in the Copa del Rey. So I was surprised that we only lost by 3 goals. Obviously, that was the tie done and dusted there and there. But second leg, we did well. It was a good performance. We won on the night. Obviously, we went out, but it was probably our best performance of the season, up there with Man City's second game of the season. It honestly was, and that's when I thought, maybe they can be saved. Maybe we will just maybe be all right. But we're not. It was a flash in the pan. No pressure. Tie already gone. No pressure. Performance is decent. When there's pressure, when it's a 6-pointer against the team right next to you in the table, complete capitulation. And like I said, I was talking about this on the shows we were doing, the statistic has still not changed. Every time we have conceded the first goal, we have failed to win this season.
Damn. So even with you not on YouTube for a month, they still do the same thing.
Yeah.
So I wonder, now that you're back, maybe you bring some good luck to Spurs, to Palermo, to Italy later this month or whatever. But I guess the past is the past, and now you have 7 games left. The future. But before we talk about the 7 games, what's going to be the manager's situation? Is he going to go? I know, obviously, I saw, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, it's very sad. Yeah, thoughts and prayers with him right now with the thing that happened.
Yeah, so I can see why they are not sacking him today. Maybe like end of the week.
Look, those things are way bigger than football. Like, people just have to realize that stuff like that is obviously that's real life. That's real life stuff.
Yeah. But what do you think of the manager situation now? Does he go? Does he stay?
I think. See, there's 3 weeks now. We play your favorite team, Sunderland, in which I'm sure we'll talk a lot about them. But that's our next game, Sunderland away. We got 3 weeks because international break. Plus, we're out of the FA Cup, of course,
and Champions.
I think. I don't know, because I thought they might. See, he's obviously still new to the job and everything. I thought they might sack him after Atletico first leg. I thought that's when he might go. Obviously, he didn't. They gave him Liverpool and the next one. I think he probably would have been sacked if we had kind of not got that draw at Anfield, I think. I think, obviously, like I said, thoughts and prayers to him with what happened to one of his family members. I don't think they're going to sack him. It wouldn't be right to sack him, and I don't think they should sack him right now after sort of what happened. It's hard. It's impossible. Honestly, I don't know. I can't answer. It's really hard to say when he's going to go.
Yeah, I mean, I saw earlier today just one manager report, apart from like Tim Sherwood or Harry Redknapp. The one that I saw was Adi Hutter, former Monaco manager. I don't know what your thoughts on him. If he was somehow to be the replacement before your next game?
Um, it's just no manager can save us. No manager. We could get Pep Guardiola. We could get Klopp. Nobody's saving us. Nobody is saving us. So for me, it really doesn't matter who the manager is. It's down to the players. It's down to the players, and they're not showing anything. It doesn't matter who the manager is, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, the future with 7 games to go, and you only have 3 home games left. Whether that's a blessing,
We're
but
bottom of the, we're bottom of the home table form, rock
yeah.
bottom.
But
I've seen. I go to games. For those that don't know, I go to games. I've seen. I haven't been to loads this season because of obviously how bad we've been playing. So I haven't been going a lot this season. However, for the games I have been, I've seen one win live, which was the first game of the season. I've seen one win live because I went to that Burnley game.
and
I
then
missed our other win. I didn't go to that game. I'm
That's
saying
very
I've
good.
been to a few games this season and I've only seen one win live, and we're in late March.
Yeah, I mean, your next home game is like mid-April or whatever. Well, let's maybe start with do you want to go chronological or home first or the away games together or whatever?
Whatever's easier. Whatever's easier for you.
Well, I guess chronological might be better. If I remember off the top of my head, I know you said the first game back is a certain club, which I'm never going to mention, but that's at their stadium. Obviously, it's like in 3 weeks or whatever, but how you feel ahead of that game?
We're gonna lose and we're gonna get pammed. I reckon. I think we could be in trouble. Yeah, that game because Anthony's spot on. This is the problem. This is the exact problem. These players don't have it in them. They do not. I'm seeing when I watch these games, I'm seeing they do not have it in them to pull us out of this situation. We will lose to Sunderland. We will lose to. We will not win another game this season. You heard it here first. We will not win another game this season because to win a game, you have to actually earn it. You have to actually, fight for it. You actually have to, run. Our players aren't doing any of that, and for that reason, there's no evidence to suggest we're winning a game. So it's just I'm just using the facts right now.
Yeah, and then the game after that is at home against Brighton.
Yeah, we'll lose to Brighton. We'll lose.
And then the next game is away at Wolves, if I'm not mistaken.
Wolves will definitely lose to them because they're at the best of times. They're our bogey team, and they're actually, despite already being relegated, pretty much, they're playing decent. They're playing good football. Yeah, so I reckon we'll lose.
Aston Villa away.
They have dropped off a bit, but we'll lose. We'll lose again. We'll lose.
So you'll still be on 30 points. And then the penultimate home game, which I think is your next, if you're still in and around it, Leeds at home.
I think that'll be a draw. I think it'll be a draw.
Yeah. So that's 31 points. So at least you got 31 now. And then the final away game is, if I'm not mistaken, is because I saw it's not West Ham. It's who's the final home away game?
Away game.
Oh, Chelsea.
For those that don't know, right, I'll give you guys a bit of a history lesson. Spurs relegated Chelsea in 1975. This has the potential to be a humiliating revenge from them. In 1975, we relegated them.
And then it is almost, I'm not sure if it's exactly 10 years after the quote-unquote Battle of the Bridge.
Battle of the Bridge, yeah.
Chelsea,
look, Stamford Bridge just speaks for itself.
Yeah.
So, I don't even need to comment on that.
Yeah. So imagine, because that's also the same, how Sky Sports or whatever are going to put the Chelsea Spurs game on a Sunday. The FA Cup final is also on the exact same Sunday. Let's just say Arsenal do make the final. And,
we saw what happened yesterday in a final with them.
Yeah, so there's at least a bit of happiness for you.
Yeah.
But let's just say Arsenal make the final of the FA Cup and Chelsea don't. That means you do play Chelsea. Arsenal, let's just say Chelsea relegate you on the same exact day Arsenal lift an FA Cup How would that feel?
I think if they win the title and we get relegated, that's humiliating enough, I think.
Yeah. And then the final home game before you play Lincoln City as your next league game.
See, I've heard this Lincoln joke is so expired now. I've heard it like
Cardiff City.
I've heard the Lincoln thing a million times.
Or Lincoln City or Cardiff City or Bradford.
Wrexham.
No, they're Premier League next year.
Maybe. Bristol City, Preston. Like, Jesus.
At least you get to play another Lily White team, Preston.
And Derby of Lily White.
The true Invincibles.
Yeah. For those Arsenal fans keep saying they're the only team that's ever done it in England. Well, say hello, Preston. Say hello to Preston.
Yeah, after Preston get promoted ahead of Spurs, if you are to be down there. Everton at home, final home game. Obviously, you might be still in it somehow. You never know.
We might be. I think there's a chance we'll still be in it come the last day. And see, here's what I reckon is going to happen. I know I said earlier we're not going to win a game, but I reckon we're going to beat Everton in that last game. Because I think by that point, they're probably not going to have anything to play for by that point.
I mean, they're in a European.
They are right now, but I reckon come the last game, I think, whether they might be in Europe, they might not be in Europe. I think either way, they're not going to have anything to play for. That's just my feeling. They're going to be on the beach. I reckon we'll get 4 points from the last 7 games. And I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah. Last season, you got in total 38.
38, yeah.
For me, I'm predicting you also get 38 by the end of the season. So you get 8 points.
And do you think that will be enough this year?
That's the thing. I don't know.
34 won't be enough because last year Ipswich, I think, was 18th. They went down with 25 points. We were on 38 points. So there was like what? How many? I'm not good at maths.
13-point gap.
13 point. Like I said, we knew we weren't getting relegated in February last year.
Yeah.
This year, the team that goes down in 18th will be on a lot more points than Ipswich last season. So that's why I think we're going to end with 34 points, and I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah. And I guess one final bit, until maybe can stop the Tottenham talk. Can Wolves or Burnley finish above Spurs?
No. They're gone. No.
Even if they get relegated but finish like 18th.
No. They're both gone. They're both gone.
Yeah,
in my mind. Look, never say never, but I think they're both gone.
Yeah. I guess maybe the next part maybe can talk a little bit about, I don't know how much time you have, but
I got time. Yeah, just go. Yeah, I got time.
Palermo. Since the last time, that was a long while ago. But obviously couple wins, but a couple of losses, I think. Overall, you're in 4th place at the moment.
Still 4th, yeah.
So nothing has changed with that as well. So what are your thoughts with 6? You have 6 games left.
6 games left, yeah. Plus, I'm saying, but the thing with Palermo, my thoughts are I think we got 6 league games left, but I think we're going to have some playoff games. Because, see, Palermo, obviously the last game was a great win. Against Padova, down to 10 men the whole game. Modesto, I don't know what Modesto's trying to do. Modesto got sent off. I think, that Modesto, that was his first start since obviously joining in January. Got sent off very early in the game. Down to 10 men against Padova. And it wasn't looking good. Somehow we held on. We relied on our defense, and literally it's just the story of football, isn't it? Like Padova had some chances that they didn't take. In the last minute, we get a corner and we win it with a corner, one corner, one set piece, goal, and it's just how it goes. We get one half chance and we score with 10 men, and it was Mattia Banni, our captain. 2 goals in 2 games. Obviously. Against Juve Stabia, which we drew very frustratingly in the game before. But he got the winning goal. 1-0 with pretty much down to 10 men the whole game. And it was a great win. I really enjoyed getting that win because it was the unlikeliest of wins, despite obviously Padova not being the greatest opposition. But the story with Palermo is, look, it's kind of been the season, right? We've been fairly not obviously not every single game, but we've been fairly consistent when it comes to beating the teams we should be beating. You know, Padovas, like I said, we beat obviously Mantova recently as well. We've been beating these kind of teams fairly consistent. Obviously, we've had the odd game where we have slipped up, which is kind of costing us being in the top two right now, like Mantova away, Avellino, Entella. These kind of games, we've kind of slipped up. But on a whole, especially at home, we've been winning against the teams we should be winning. But it's the big matches where we've come unstuck. We haven't. The problem with Palermo, look, we are fourth. We're, I think, 4 points from the top two. 4 or 5 points, can't remember. But, out of all the teams in the top 8, which are the playoffs plus automatic promotion being the top 2, we haven't beaten a single team in the top 8. We haven't beaten a single one. And that is why Palermo aren't in the top 2 right now. Because very recently we had one of those big matches. We played Monza. We had the chance to go level on points with them. What do? We lose 3-0 for the second time this season. Monza are the only team that have beaten us at our ground this season. So we've been fantastic at home, as I've said consistently. Monza are the only team that have beaten us at our ground, 3-0. They then done us again, 3-0 at their ground. And it was just very disappointing because I said going into that game, the race for automatic promotion is close. It's very tight. Monza and Venezia are having freak seasons. We haven't seen teams as consistent, more than one team as consistent as both of those teams in Serie B for a long time. We're actually, I don't know if it's changed. It might have changed after the last couple of games, but very recently it might still be the same. There was a point where Palermo, after I think 32 games or 30 to 32 games, have the exact same number of points as Pisa did last season under Inzaghi. So, and obviously everyone knows that Pisa came second very comfortably and got promoted. Palermo have had the exact same points as them, yet we find ourselves outside of the automatic spots because, unfortunately for us, we happen to find ourselves in a season where you've got two teams that, unfortunately, look, they've been very consistent. I think Venezia is by far the best. Monza, I don't think they play great football, but I think they've been consistent in their results. So Palermo, it's frustrating because I think we've done a lot of things right this season. Inzaghi has given us this. Look, whatever happens, whether we can get into the automatic spots or it will be the playoffs, if we win the playoffs, whatever it is, right? Whatever happens this season, this will be the closest Palermo has come to promotion to Serie A since we returned to Serie B in 2022. This is the closest we would have come because we haven't finished higher than 6th since coming back. So this is look, I'm very certain of it. We will finish at least 4th this season. I know Catanzaro are on good form, but I don't think they're going to catch us, if I'm being really honest. We have an 8-point gap, albeit they do have a game in hand, but
9-point gap.
Yeah, 9 points, sorry. Yeah, but I think I'm not worried about us losing 4th or dropping into the preliminary playoff spots. I don't think that's going to happen. We're still closer to the top 2 than we are to 5th. So I think that says it all. But yeah, I think the problem with Palermo this season has been the big matches. We've really kind of come unstuck in those. Obviously, look, we haven't lost all of them. I mean, we drew Frosinone, we drew Venezia, both 0-0. Obviously, the frustrating thing is we haven't scored a goal against the teams above us. The 3 teams above us, we've played Monza twice, Frosinone once, and Venezia once. We haven't scored a single goal against any of them, and that is a massive problem, especially when we've got the best striker in the league. We've got Poyampalo, who is still banging in the goals, who is by far leading the top goal scorers in Serie B, like I predicted at the start of the season. So it's just frustrating because we've done a lot right this season. Inzaghi, obviously, that he's turned Palermo around. When you compare us to last season, he's been phenomenal for us as a manager. But it's just frustrating because we're having to deal with teams like Monza and Venezia who are just very consistent. You've got essentially, obviously last season Sassuolo ran away with top spot from pretty much the first 10 games, I would say. But I don't think either of Monza or Venezia are as good as Sassuolo last season, but you have 2 teams that are probably both better than Pisa last season and 2 teams that are still very consistent on a general basis. And unfortunately, because we haven't won those big matches, you know, this in a season like this, it's not a usual. This isn't a usual Serie B season. This is a different sort of. You don't usually see 4 teams in the top 4 on the number of points they are at this stage of the season. It's not something you see often. So it's a strange season in Serie B. It's very competitive, more competitive than usual. And unfortunately, look, we just haven't been able to win those big games. But like I said, massive credit to Palermo for doing, on a whole, very regularly winning the games that we should be winning. And that is obviously the big plus. That's something that we struggled with last season a lot. We've been doing that fairly consistently. And that's obviously the big change and the massive improvement that we've seen from last season. So with Palermo, look, I'm happy on a whole with what I'm seeing. I'm just annoyed that in those big games, we're not getting it done. And that does worry me ahead of the playoffs. Not even the playoff final. I'm thinking of, Catanzaro, Juve Stabio, whoever we play in the first round of the playoffs, or the semi-finals, sorry, should I say. I'm worried about that because we haven't beaten those teams. Even those, like Juve Stabia, we just drew to them. They've taken 4 points from 6 against us this season. You got Catanzaro, who we lost to away. We still got to play them at home. You've got Cesena, obviously Ashley Cole there now as manager. You got them who we drew with very early in the season. So if we're gonna get into Serie A, we're gonna have to beat these teams. Whether that's if we're gonna get in the top 2, we're gonna have to beat Frosinone, which we're gonna play quite soon. We're gonna have to beat Venezia on the last game of the season. We're gonna have to do these things, and if it's the playoffs, we're gonna have to beat Catanzaro, Juve Stabia. And then if we get past them, we're going to have to beat what I think is going to happen. I think it will be Frosinone. We're going to have to beat them, which is obviously them in a playoff final. It's a big, big thing because of what happened in 2018. So the thing with Palermo is that fairly consistent. A lot of it, look, Poi and Paolo banging in the goals. We just need to win those big matches. We have to. And if we're going to get to Serie A, we have to win those big matches. And that's what it will come down to.
Yeah, I mean, looking ahead to Palermo's final 6 games, at least for the regular season, you are 4 points behind second, technically, though it's really 5 points because head-to-head. So
Monza have 6-0 on us on a head-to-head.
And Frosinone, you've yet to play. So
we drew 0-0 in the first game. So
at home, I think.
Yeah, we got to go there. Yeah.
In a couple of weeks, Avellino at home should be.
See, Avellino, that was one of the games we should have won away. Obviously, Diakite, who's now at Juve Stabia, cost us that game. But Avellino at home, look, with Palermo at home, I'm very confident. I know we just drew to Juve Stabia when we shouldn't have, but I'm very confident. We've lost 1 game at home all season. We're still very good at home. I'm very confident we'll beat Avellino.
Yeah. So that's from 61 to 64. And then perhaps your test, your audition, Frosinone away.
See, it's just hard. I'm not confident for that because it's the big matches. See, Frosinone, yeah, it is. I believe it is. Frosinone, they've dropped. Obviously, they were top for a lot of the season, but they've obviously dropped out of the top 2 recently. I think we're playing them at a decent-ish time, but I just don't. Again, I need to see us until I see it this season win a big match. It's hard for me to predict it. So I'm gonna say we draw. I'm gonna say we draw again, Frosinone. It's just based on what I've seen this season, really.
I'll actually go. Because I sometimes always want your tears. Actually, I always want your tears.
You always want my tears.
But you know what? I'll give you a little bit of hype. From 61 to 64 to 67. I think
we're going to beat Frosinone away. Wow.
Yeah. Before you play them in the final, and then you know what happens by that.
I think this Frosinone game, it could very well be an audition for the playoff final. I think there's a very good chance of that, to be honest.
Yeah. Cesena, home.
I think we'll beat Cesena because I know that Ashley Cole just won his second game, but they were on horrendous form. And I still think, look, Ashley Cole is his first. I think we'll beat Cesena. I think we'll beat them.
Reggiana.
Win. They are dreadful. They are dreadful.
Yeah. And then the final home game before probably the playoff, United States, Catanzaro.
Catanzaro.
The team if you guys
Yeah.
watch all the way back, I said Catanzaro beat
You
Palermo
did.
as that first. I think that would have been their first.
That was our
win
first. That was our first loss of the season, I think.
and their first win.
And they've since then they've really turned it around. They've been good since then.
Yeah.
Catanzaro. See, Catanzaro is a bit of a bogey team for us because since I think we both got promoted in the same season. Or I think they might have come up the season after. I can't remember, but we haven't beaten them at home. We've beaten them once, which was away last season. So that they're a bit of a bogey team for us. Catanzaro, I think draw. I'll say draw because they've been a not as bad as Cittadella. Thank God Cittadella are not in Serie B this season, but they have been a bit of a bogey team. So I think I'm gonna say draw for that.
I'll also say probably draw. And then the final game, technically, of the league season, Venezia away. When Venezia will probably have already wrapped up,
they will have wrapped it up by then.
And then you would probably already know your third, fourth.
But I'm going to say this about the Venezia game. I think we beat Venezia last game. I do. I think we're going to win that game because we need to win a big match at some point against one of these teams. And I think we're going to be in a position where, like I said, what my prediction right now is we're going to end third or fourth, which either of one of those. I think we're going to, at that point, assuming that my prediction comes correct, we're going to be preparing for playoffs. We're going to be, trying things in the last couple of games. And I think Venezia, what's going to happen is I think we're going to win with them obviously already having wrapped up promotion. And I think I'm praying and I'm thinking we're going to beat them and we're going to put ourselves in a great position for the playoffs, finally winning that big match against one of the best teams. So that's what I can see happening. And I think we will beat Venezia last game.
Ooh, and then let's say the playoff. No matter who makes it through, do you think you win the semifinal? No matter who makes it through, or
I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes for now. Obviously, come that point, this is in May. I think we're talking about. Obviously, I'll be able to give a more fairer prediction by that point. But yeah, assuming we do come third or fourth. Yes, I'm going to say yes. I think we will win because, like I said, the way it's going to go is this. I think we're going to beat Venezia, and then we're going to take that and we're going to beat Catanzaro. I think it's going to be one of Catanzaro or Juve Stabia. That's my feeling. Juve Stabia would obviously be revenge for last season in that playoff game. So I think it's going to be Catanzaro or Juve Stabia, and I think we're going to win. I think we are going to win.
And then the final. Let's assume. It is Frosinone.
If it's Frozen, I'll tell you this right now.
Is it over 2 legs?
Yes, yes, over 2 legs. Yeah, I'm telling you this right now. If it's Frosinone, we are going to beat Frosinone because Frosinone at the end of the day, right? What they did in 2018 is an absolute disgrace, and they never got punished for it, and they never got, it never came back to bite them in the way that it should have. And I think this year is going to be the year. I'm saying it right now. I think come the end of the season, Palermo are going to beat Frosinone in that playoff final. And we're going to go to Serie A.
Well,
we will get it done. We will get it done. My feeling is Inzaghi knows how to do it. He's done it with Benevento. He's done it with Pisa. He will get it done. He even said, there's a video with the Ultras, right? He said to the Ultras, we are going to Serie A. He made a statement, we are going to get promoted. Where he said, whether that's through automatic or playoffs, he said, we are getting promoted. So I'm going to take his words and I'm going to say we're going to win the playoff final against Frosinone.
Ooh. Imagine a world whereby in the same month, most likely, Palermo get promoted, Spurs get relegated.
Both my teams swap divisions. That would be nuts. To be honest. But that's what I'm predicting both to happen. So,
damn. At least you'll still have a team in the top tier, just not the one you think would be in it.
Listen, I've actually in a lot of games I've enjoyed watching Palermo this season. I can't say anything about that when it comes to Spurs.
Yeah, apart from maybe beating random teams at home in the Champions League, which. Yeah. I guess maybe very off topic from Spurs because you are out, but also we are out as well.
Yeah.
Champions League. I guess quick fire. I guess. What's that first game? PSG Liverpool second leg Anfield.
Oh, quarterfinals. PSG are going to win. PSG are going to batter them, I reckon.
Ooh. What's the next one? Real Madrid Bayern Munich second leg Munich.
Bayern will finally beat Madrid after all these years.
Damn. Atletico Barcelona Atletico second leg.
Barcelona.
And then the whole world.
The most, by the way, the most rigged draw I've ever seen. It's so rigged.
Sporting Arsenal second leg.
Arsenal.
And then let's just say it all happens. PSG Bayern second leg Munich.
Bayern.
Barcelona Arsenal second leg Arsenal.
Barcelona.
And then the final, who do you think will win?
Bayern Munich.
Damn, so you change.
I don't, by the way, and I do not want Bayern Munich to win, because if Kane wins the Champions League in the same season we get relegated, it's going to be a whole thing. So,
like imagine last season you won the Europa League, he won the the Bundesliga. He then goes on to win the big one, and you get relegated. Damn.
I think that's what's going to happen, though.
Damn. And then Europa League. This one I actually have to.
Bro, Roma let me down. Me down.
They're out. Roma are out by Bologna, who I had as my finalist.
You did.
Losing finalist. Braga, Betis.
The goat. The goat is gonna do it for them.
Oh. And then Freiburg against Celta second leg.
Oh, your favorite, Celta Vigo. Your favorite, Celta Vigo are going through.
And then it's Porto Forest second leg.
Porto.
And then Bologna Villa second leg.
Listen, look, I want the Italian teams to do well, but I think Villa, sadly. I think Bologna, they're not quite consistent enough, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, Italiano, you never know.
I really like him, but I just think, Bologna have lost to Villa already this season as well. So,
yeah.
Over 2 legs, I'll say Villa I think, sadly.
And then semi-final would be, if it's all correct, all Spanish. Celta second leg. Betis Celta second leg.
Celta. No, I'm joking. The goat is taking them to the final. Anthony is taking Betis to the final.
And then Porto Villa second leg.
Porto.
And then the final, you're saying Betis Porto?
Yep. Betis against Porto. That's a tough one to call, but I'm gonna say Betis. I'm gonna say Betis, and Antona is gonna win a Europa League.
Let's go. Conference League, because technically, I think I forgot who you predicted. You said Fiorentina to win it, right?
No, I said Strasbourg.
Oh yeah, I said Palace. Well, Shakhtar Donetsk, AZ Alkmaar second leg.
Spurs played them last season. I'm gonna say AZ Alkmaar, I reckon.
Crystal Palace Fiorentina second leg.
See, I'm really looking forward to that game, because I think, obviously, look, Fiorentina have not been doing well this season, but they've marginally turned it around a little bit recently. Obviously, Palace have struggled, but I'm gonna say Fiorentina.
Rayo Vallecano, AEK Athens second leg.
I reckon Rayo just, I think.
And then Mainz, Strasbourg second leg.
Strasbourg. But they got Gary. The thing is, they got Gary O'Neill now, so I think that kind of like diminishes their chances of winning it. I think.
So even if they kept Liam,
I think if they, I know he's not doing well at Chelsea now, but at Strasbourg he was. I think if they kept him, then I think they could.
Well, technically they did keep him, but just with the other team.
Yeah.
And then you said
AZ, yeah, AZ Alkmaar, yeah.
AZ against Fiorentina second leg.
Fiorentina.
And then Rayo against Strasbourg second leg.
Strasbourg.
And then the final, you're saying Fiorentina Strasbourg.
Fiorentina.
Hmm.
Fiorentina are going to do what Spurs did last season. They're going to come 17th and win the Conference League.
At least they finally won it.
Listen, I think that's what I'm telling you. Fiorentina, they're going to come 17th and win the Conference League. You heard it here first.
Damn. And then I guess now we can talk about a little bit of international football. Not going to every single like Romania and Turkey and wherever. Your thoughts on the Italian national team squad that's been picked?
Well, it's this Thursday. This Thursday is the big one. Northern Ireland, first playoff game. I mean,
at Bergamo.
Here we are again in the World Cup playoffs, looking to not absolutely humiliate ourselves for the third time in a row. The squad, obviously, very interesting. I'm glad to see the likes of Palestra called up. I'm glad to see the likes of Cambiaghi has come in now after Chiesa sadly got injured or something. Cambiaghi's coming. Glad to see Esposito there. You know, overall, I'm relatively happy with the squad. Obviously, a lot of the usual names are there as well. So the squad, look, I'm not, you know, I'm not unhappy or anything. I'm just, I'm happy. Like I said, the likes of Palestra, these guys. I wanted to see Coyote though. Why we haven't called up Coyote, I'll never know. I think he's been the best right back in the Prem this season. So I don't know why we haven't called him up. But Palestra's definitely, you know, just as good as him, I think. Obviously with Coyote this season. Same position, right back. So I'm happy to see him there. But yeah, I wanted to see Coyote. But yeah, apart from that, relatively happy, I think.
Yeah. And then when it does happen, this coming Thursday, damn, it's been a very quick, or it felt like they just did the draw and all that.
Yeah.
And now it's Thursday. At least by that time, I'll probably know whether Romania has failed to qualify or still at least in the final. But Italy, Northern Ireland in Bergamo. You went from what? San Siro against Sweden. You went to Palermo against North Macedonia, and now you're trying your luck in Bergamo.
In Bergamo, in Atalanta, in their stadium. Facts. Yeah. Facts. Both of these guys, 100%. When is this curse going to end? This has to end. We must, and I repeat, we must be at the World Cup this year. We must. Northern Ireland, look, for somebody who's obviously British as well, Italian and British, I can tell you Northern Ireland are not good. Their team is made up of championship players. Their team is made up of you got guy who you got there, like you got most of their team is like championship players. You've also got, Dan Ballard, your favorite from Sunderland. So their team is mostly championship players. We should be beating them. But this is Italy in a playoff we're talking about. This is Italy. This is Italy in a World Cup playoff. This is really hard to call. Because based on the last couple of times, we're going to lose this game. And we're going to embarrass ourselves again. We're going to beat Northern Ireland, though. We're going to beat Northern Ireland. We'll have enough. I think we'll have enough. We'll make it very difficult because this is what Italy do. We always make it difficult, but we'll beat Northern Ireland, I think. I think we're going to win 1-0. I think it's going to be like the scrappiest game ever, I reckon.
Imagine it's a last-minute goal by...
I reckon it will be. I reckon we'll score in like the last 5 minutes, I reckon.
Or what if it's the other way around?
North Macedonia all over again then. Yeah, but hopefully not. But I do think we'll edge it against
I actually do think you will. I actually do think you beat Northern Ireland. Either it's comfortable or not, you'll get through. And then your opponents in the final, but Wales, Bosnia, who you think?
So I think it will be Wales. I think it will be Wales. And am I right in saying that we're away for the final? I'm
Yep,
pretty sure.
in Cardiff. Or if it's Bosnia, it'll be in Bosnia.
So I reckon it's going to be Wales. See, that's tough because Wales obviously made the last World Cup. Again, Wales. I mean, they're better than Northern Ireland, but again, like they don't have Gareth Bale anymore. Like this is not Wales of old. This has the potential to be a big banana skin. But I have to predict Italy to make the World Cup because we are, I don't care what people say, we are the second greatest national team of all time. I don't care. People will say, oh, Argentina or all of the Germany. I don't care. Like we have had, if you look at the players we've had, plus obviously the trophies, the 4 World Cups, all of this sort of stuff. We are the second greatest national team of all time. We need to be at the World Cup. And I have to say we're going to be there. I think it'll be 2 1-0 wins. 1-0. We're going to make it so difficult, but I think it's going to be 2 scrappy wins to get us to that World Cup, I reckon.
I think it would be Bosnia, Italy. And
Bosnia.
Italy do it. I've said Italy.
Please.
I mean, almost everyone in the world is saying Italy, except Italians.
Except Italians. Like, that's why I'm very apprehensive.
Yeah. And then maybe a bit away from Italy, Ukraine, Sweden in Valencia, one of the playoff games.
I reckon Ukraine will win because Sweden have Potter and Gyökeres. So that's
Grok.
why that's
Grok AI.
Grok. Oh yeah, Grok, the AI. That's why I think Ukraine will win.
And then the other team or the other 2 teams in that side, Poland, Albania in Poland.
Albania. I said this before, remember? I'm still sticking by Albania. Just watch Albania.
Yeah. So that means you're saying the final for you is Ukraine, Albania in Valencia in Spain.
I reckon Ukraine win that. I reckon Ukraine win.
Damn, even without Zinchenko.
Yeah.
And then the probably the path I'm obviously going to keep an eye on.
Oh, yeah, Romania. Good luck.
Okay, we might as well because that's actually the only 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock kickoff. Turkey, Romania in Besiktas, the stadium.
Turkey. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Also because Inus Radu, the main goalkeeper, the Celta Vigo goalkeeper, is out of the squad due to injury.
Also, I mean, you look at Turkey, Güler and Yildiz, I think will get them through.
Yeah. And then the other side of that is Slovakia, Kosovo in Slovakia.
Kosovo.
Damn.
You heard it here, Kosovo.
And then Kosovo, Turkey in Kosovo.
Turkey.
And then the final path in Europe, it's Denmark, North Macedonia.
Denmark.
Yeah. And the other side, it's Czech Republic against Republic of Ireland in Czech Republic.
Republic of Ireland.
And then the final in Dublin, Ireland against Denmark.
Denmark.
You know what? That day, if that is the final, I hope. I
know you've predicted Ireland. You've predicted Ireland.
I actually want Ireland. Like it's not.
Yeah, I want them to make it as well.
Yeah. If not Italy, then Ireland at least. And then there were 2 other playoff games. The first one, Bolivia, Suriname.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't watched either national team.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, the winner of that plays Iraq, and the winner of that, Iraq, whoever against, makes the World Cup and gets to play Mbappe, Haaland.
That group.
and Odegaard. Just Martin. I just call him Martin because he's a ghost. Just Martin. And I forgot the other team. Senegal. But it's Iraq against either Bolivia or Suriname.
Ooh, I'm gonna say Iraq. Make it. I'm gonna say they make it.
And then the other path, it's Jamaica versus New Caledonia of
Jamaica.
surely. And the final, it's DR Congo. So players like Wan-Bissaka and Mbemba against Jamaica.
DR Congo, I reckon.
So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much whatever topics I have in mind. I don't know if there's any
Nice.
other topics.
Oh yeah,
you
I was
want.
gonna ask you. Do you want to talk about Newcastle?
Oh god, I mean, I obviously have a new sort of show, kind of called the Magpie Cream Pie Show.
What a name! What a name!
Obviously, I talked about the game yesterday, so most of my thoughts on the manager, because now I'm not going to give him his name. I'm not going to say it anymore. But yeah, I guess my overall thoughts. I think the season's done. That's basically what I said. The season's done.
You should not. You should never be losing that derby at home in the last minute. I thought you'd win that game. Honestly, I really did think you'd win that game.
And I thought too as well.
Because I thought, look, what happened when they beat you guys at the Stadium of Light, I thought that you guys, knowing Newcastle, kind of just the way it is culturally there, you guys are going to be well up for it, and you guys are going to absolutely wipe the floor with them. Especially because Sunderland haven't even been good recently. They've dropped off a lot recently. But to go and lose that second half, I watched it back. That second half was awful.
Yeah.
To concede to Brobby in the last minute as well. Brobby. It's nuts. Yeah. I mean, you must have been. What was your sort of reaction when that goal went in?
I just closed the stream or whatever that I was watching it because I knew wouldn't come back, basically. And I knew as soon as it became 1-1, I'm like, at least there was still time, but I don't think, yeah. And at least there's 3 more weeks or whatever. But now I feel like I actually just want this season to be finished now.
Me too. This is a season of nightmares. I'll say this is the worst ever Premier League season. This is the least quality I've ever seen. This is absolutely terrible. This season.
Arsenal could literally win the league by not even hitting 80 points.
Exactly. And that's what I don't care that people will say that I'm salty because I support Spurs and all this, but if they do win the Prem, which is obviously going that way right now, they are the worst ever team to win the Prem. I don't care what people say. They are. If you watch them play, on the eye test, if you watch them play, you will know they are the absolute worst team ever to win the Prem.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see how it would be if they actually do win it, because imagine they win the league and then, if they also win the Champions League and the Premier League and the FA Cup.
You're not going there. Everyone said
you get relegated.
Everyone was like quad, but then look what happened.
Now the talk is treble, because it is actually a treble they can go for.
It's not gonna happen.
But if they go trophyless,
please, we love and I think we deserve.
What do you call this? Would you take Spurs relegation plus Arsenal no trophies, or Arsenal win 1 trophy, it can be any trophy, and you stay up?
Well, of course, I have to take the second option because I have to think about my club first.
Damn it! You're not.
I have to take the second option.
You're not a true Spurs fan, then.
No, I am. I'm saying that I would want us to stay up, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And I don't know if there's any other questions I'm thinking. Are you on the Stellegation train?
Well, kind of, yeah. I mean, Stellegation. Yeah, I forgot to. I was going to mention it earlier. Big up to Stell, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, yes and no. Like you heard, kind of what I said earlier. That do I want us to get relegated? No. But if it does happen, am I going to complain and whinge about it? No, because the owners deserve it. And hopefully, if we do get relegated, there will be a silver lining in the sense that we will force real change, which is essentially the point that Stell's making with the whole Stellegation thing. So, to answer your question, am I on the Stellegation? Yes and no. But I'm not, but I am sort of. I'm a bit of both. I mean, I'm kind of on the fence with it.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Stell wants us to get relegated. I don't want us to get relegated, but I understand where he's coming from a lot. I do.
Yeah.
I do understand it.
Yeah, I'm probably on this delegation train as well.
I mean, were you ever that way with Newcastle under Mike Ashley?
No,
So,
I never wanted to get relegated, but once it happened, I was like, "We're going to win the championship," and it happened.
I'm not so sure about us, to be honest.
Unless your name is Newcastle, because we actually do win it. The last
we've never been in it, so I don't even know
since the 70s.
Exactly.
But under this name, yeah. But yeah, I don't know what else more to ask or to add or whatever. But I guess we can wrap it up here. I mean, I don't know when the next time we might be doing this.
Yeah, no, we'll plan it, and I'm sure there'll be on your channel there'll be an announcement for everyone to see. So
yeah, and then obviously on next Twitter and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, Charlie, even though you don't have a channel, I believe anymore, shout yourself out.
Yeah, look, it was good to be back. Good to do. It's like I said, it's good to just do this every so often when I can. It's good to be back. Yeah, 10. Good luck with the channel. Good luck with all the streams and everything. Look, like I said, I'm sure you guys will see me on watch-alongs whether that's on this channel or on Steve's channel. So yeah, you might see me there. But in terms of like an actual show, discussion show, yeah, I'll be doing this, whenever we can, sort of, every so often. So yeah, thanks for having me on. This has obviously been great to kind of be back, and yeah, make sure you subscribe to Tem, and because I think he needs it after what Newcastle done.
Oh god, I mean, I got like 35 subscribers last Thursday or something.
Oh yeah, for your
10,000 views in 24 hours.
I was gonna actually one more thing. I was gonna ask you. You asked me about Palermo. I have to ask you about Deportivo.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Deportivo won against Zaragoza at home, so at least we won a home game. And I will be confident about top 2 after Easter. So when Easter happens on the 5th or 6th of April, because that means we will have played 3 games from now till Easter Sunday. That's 3 games, 2 of them at home, 1 of them away, which I'm thinking of doing watch long for, which is Sporting Gijón against Deportivo. If 7 points, yeah, I'll go 7 points. If it's 7 points in the next 3 and it's Easter Sunday, I will say we'll get top 2. Even with, I think, I have to check how many games would it be then. I think it would be, let me check. 34, so 8 games left after Easter Sunday. So
nice. I hope we both get promoted. I really do. I really do.
Or at least Deportivo. I don't mind if Palermo miss out or whatever. But yeah, I guess unless there's anything else more to add or whatever. Yeah, it's been a really good sort of impromptu show or whatever. Not obviously not sure when we might do this again, but I mean, maybe if I do watch longs or whatever, obviously I'll invite.
Yeah, like I say, you guys will see me on watch alongs every so often. So
yeah, and obviously maybe get to see Charlie again in a Tottenham Hotspur Champions League stream. Oh wait, Championship.
Listen, the next time we do the show, we might be in the Championship. In terms of we would have been relegated. I'm not even joking.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously, please do hit the like button on the stream. Subscribe only to my channel because that's the only one that exists amongst the 2 of us. And then, yeah, from Charlie, we'll see whenever we might do it. I'll make an announcement whenever that next time comes. It could be once every month or every 3 weeks or whatever.
Yeah, just whenever works, really. We'll sort it out at some point, I'm sure. So
yeah, obviously. And yeah, hit the like button on the stream, subscribe to my channel. And yeah, at least for me, I don't know when for Charlie.